Welcome back. We've had some picks come in over the break, when I was on break there. With the 40th, because, the Washington Commanders took Christian Holmes, quarterback, Oklahoma State. With the 241st pick, the Steelers took Chris Oladokin, quarterback, South Dakota State. With the 242nd pick, the Panthers took Kalen Barnes, quarterback, Baylor. The Packers pick is in for pick 250. Or 249, excuse me. I'm waiting for it to come up on the screen. With the 243rd pick, the Chiefs took Jalen Watson, quarterback, Washington State. And we're about to find out who it is. Rasheed Walker, defensive end, Penn State. That's who the Packers have taken. And I think they wanted an offensive tackle, and I think that's a good choice. And he is from Penn State. He put a lot of big numbers up with Penn State. Honorable mention, all Big Ten. And the Las Vegas Raiders are back on the clock. And I want to go back to telling you who. With the 244th pick, the Arizona Cardinals took Christian Matthew, defensive back, Vallesoda State. With the 245th pick, the New England Patriots took Andrew Stubber, guard, Michigan. With the 246th pick, the Browns took a guy named Dawson Dean, I think it is. Hold on for just a moment. It was Dawson Deaton, excuse me. Yeah, Dawson. There we go. And it was Dawson Deaton, that's who it was, who they took. All right, now you got me back. You had to hear me on the audio. And with the 247th pick, the Vikings traded that to Miami, excuse me. And the Dolphins took Skylar Thompson, quarterback, Kansas. And just a moment ago, with 248, just before this last, the Bucs took, Tampa Bay Buccaneers took Andre Anthony, defensive end, LSU. And as you know, with 249, the Packers took Rasheed Walker, offensive tackle, Penn State. And right now, the Raiders are on the clock with 12:50. One of the final 12 picks of the 2022 NFL Draft. And I think that pick, Dawson Deaton, was a great pick for the Browns. I think that was a good. They need a center. So we will.
Leveled off. He got to regress a little bit. You didn't see him really step up and become that elite player, elite prospect you thought he could be. He looks the part. 6'5.5", 313, decent arm length. But really, technique needs to improve. That results in inconsistency. And week to week,
we're waiting for the Raiders pick to come in. They have one pick remaining after this one. So a lot of teams are almost done picking. So. And I think the Browns might be done, I think. And the Raiders pick is in. We're waiting for that pick to come in. So on the screen, so I'll let you know who it is in just a moment. And we're about to find out right now who the Raiders are taking with the 250th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. The Las Vegas Raiders have selected. And let's see who it is. And it is Bretton Brown, running back, UCLA. which I think the Raiders were targeting him, and they were wanting him. So, which I think they were wanting him, and they picked a good one. And he has. And now the Kansas City Chiefs are on the clock for the 251st pick of this year's NFL draft. And Kansas City's made some great picks in this round. So hopefully we'll see that come up in just a moment. And now it's the final. We have 11 picks to go. After this one, will be 10 picks to go in the draft. So we're starting to really wind down this year's NFL draft. So, and so I feel this has been one of those drafts where it's been very predictable, to say the least. And so I'm hoping this could still. And they've had a lot of trade backs, trade ups, trade downs, and a lot of have stayed where they were. So, but the Chiefs were 12-5 last year. They got 2 picks remaining, and they want to get back to the playoffs. And they lost in the AFC Championship last year, as you know. But I think these picks are going to help, and so and hopefully we're going to find out who the Chiefs took in just a second here. And they've had a 50-15 record the last 4 seasons. It's best in the NFL. I think they're going to go. I think they're going to go to defensive end. We'll see when the pick comes in on the screen. So, well, we'll see when that pick comes in. Hopefully, it's going to come in soon. And Patrick Mahomes, he needed a few more. Just about with Tyreek Hill being dealt to the Dolphins. So Patrick Mahomes just wants a little more help in the secondary. And so we're going to have that pick for you in just a sec. And I do feel the Browns have made some really good picks in the later rounds of the draft this year. And I really feel that I was surprised. A lot of people us were surprised they traded the 44th pick in round 2. And so, but they've made some good picks beyond that. But the kicker was a fair pick. I think that was a D pick. It was just not, that's the grade I would give it. A low C, a D, a low C at that. But I think, the Bengals are now on the clock for the 252nd pick. So you're going to have to hear me by audio because I want to try to find out. Who the Raiders the Chiefs I want to find out who the Chiefs took with this 251st pick. The Bengals have one pick remaining in this draft. So I'm trying to find out who the Chiefs took with 251. And the Bengals pick is in. I'm just waiting for it to come up on the screen. And so, we have a lot of strong opinions, but Lewis, I'll get you, pal. I'll get you for all those cheap shots. I thought McShay led the league in roughing the analyst penalties. You're right there with him, pal. You know I love you. I remember the first time I met you. I said to you afterwards, I was like, you might be like the nicest guy I've ever met. I didn't expect that at all. And I think the Bengals are going to go with the cornerback. I agree with Mel's predict there. And hopefully we're going to get that pick. I'm waiting to find out who the Chiefs took with 251 in round 7 here. I'm waiting to find that out. So I'm waiting to find that out. I'm sorry you had to hear me on audio just for a minute there. But now I'm back. Hopefully, I'm going to get the Bengals selection, and then I'm going to flip back after hearing me on audio. The Bengals take Jeffrey Gunter, defensive end, Coastal Carolina. That's who they're taking. I think that's a good choice for them. And I think they might have needed a defensive end for Joe Burrow. And I think that was a good choice. And I think he put up a lot of big numbers. He was a first team all sub out in 2018 and 2020. And he had 169 tackles, 38.5 TFLs, and 17.0 sacks. I want to find out. Just keep listening for just keep following my voice. You'll hear me on. Oh shit! I'm gonna have to go right there. I'm sorry you couldn't hear me. My mic was out, but you have to hear me on audio. I just told you the Bengals took Jeffrey Gunter, defensive end, Coastal Carolina. I'm gonna retell you who they took because I think my mic was not on. And I'm going to tell you in just a minute, the Rams pick just came in, and they have taken Russ Yeast, safety, Kansas State. And safety, Kansas State, yeah. And he put up some big, he can really be, and it's also a defensive. All right, I'm still doing the draft podcast, but he put us in. The Bears are back on the clock for 2:54, and we'll wait for that pick to come in.
It's really a remarkable enterprise, and I think a lot of it is because of the vision that you had to popularize the draft. I'll tell you, fans have told me way back. I remember being at Calvert Hall, okay?
I'm sorry that you heard me with my mic off, but and I'm glad I'm still on the clock there. I'm still trying to find out who the Chiefs took with the 251st pick in the NFL draft here.
What's that tell you guys?
So I'm still trying to find that out. And the Bears are on the clock for pick 253. I'm still trying to find out who the Chiefs took with 251. I'm still trying to find that out, and right now I'm going to come back on video. I'm back on the screen, but I'm glad you're listening to me with audio, and I think the Bears are going to take an offensive lineman. I think that's what they need. Their pick is in. I'm waiting for it to come up on the screen. And I'm waiting for them to come up to somebody to come up to the stage and announce it. I really think that the East was a good choice for Kansas State. He's put up some big numbers, and he can be a very valuable player. He can really make the plays, and he'll be a good addition to the LA Rams. And actually, I'm running out of time for this segment. I'll take another break. I'll be right back, and probably have the final segment, or next to final one. Stay with us.